The announcement is in respect of our participation in the Shanghai Cooperation Organization meeting, which is coming up. Shri Dammu Ravi, Secretary Economic Relations in the Ministry of External Affairs, will pay a visit to Astana, Kazakhstan on May 21, 2024. In Astana, he will represent the Government of India in the meeting of the SCO Council of Foreign Ministers on 21st May. The meeting will discuss preparations for the upcoming summit of the SCO Council of Heads of State, review ongoing cooperation in SCO, and exchange ideas on regional and global developments of common concern. During his visit, he is also expected to hold meetings with his counterparts from SCO member states and senior officials of the Government of Kazakhstan. So that is what I have for you. Now I open the floor for questions. Pranay.
सर, प्रणय उपाध्याय जी न्यूज़ से। आपने देखा होगा कि हाल में पाकिस्तान के कब्जे वाले कश्मीर के इलाके के अंदर बहुत सारे प्रोटेस्ट हुए हैं और उसमें कई लोगों की मौत भी हुई है। भारत का इस मामले के अंदर क्या नज़रिया है? और चूंकि उस इलाके को भारत कहता है कि वो उसका अभिन्न अंग है और वहाँ पर काफ़ी स्थितियाँ हैं, तो उसको लेकर भारत की टिप्पणी क्या है?
Srinjoy, okay.
Sir, today the EM said that there can be no question of forward movement with Pakistan because of what he called the terror issue. The previous government may have turned a blind eye to it, but if terror continues, there will be consequences. So could you sort of put that in the context of POK as well?
Thank you. Ghazali.
Mohammad Ghazali from NDTV. I just want to ask about the Indian UN aid worker who was killed in Israel. Have you got any confirmation that it was IDF responsible for the firing or the Hamas? And the second is about the Swiss Foreign Secretary who is in India to persuade India to participate in the peace conference in Ukraine. So has Government of India decided anything about it?
Okay. Ayushi.
Sir, Ayush Jaiswal from ANI. Canada has recently arrested one more Indian over killing of Niger. Did Ottawa provided us with any formal communication on that, since it has arrested 3 earlier as well?
Ishi.
This is Yeshi Seli from the New Indian Express. Are there any more, or how many more Indian officials are there in Gaza, like the army official that we lost, former army guy?
Okay, let's first go over these questions and then we can come back for more. Pranay, आपका सवाल पाकिस्तान ऑक्यूपाइड कश्मीर, पाकिस्तान अधिकृत कश्मीर को लेके है। तो उसमें जैसा कि आप जानते हैं, हम लोगों ने रिपोर्ट देखा है कि पिछले कुछ दिनों में वहाँ पर विरोध प्रदर्शन हुआ, उसमें कुछ लोग हताहत हुए। ये विरोध, ये परिणाम है वहाँ पर जिस प्रकार की नीतियाँ चल रही हैं, वहाँ के संसाधन को जिस प्रकार से लूटा जा रहा है, वहाँ के लोगों को जितना दूर रखा जा रहा है इन संसाधन से, अपने संसाधन से उनका लाभ नहीं पहुँच रहा है। इस कारण से ये हो रहा है और जो वहाँ का तंत्र है वहाँ पर लोगों का वो एक्सप्लॉइट कर रहे हैं, उनको अपने जो अपने उनके संसाधन हैं उसका लाभ उन तक नहीं पहुँच पा रहा है। जहाँ तक हम लोगों ने पहले भी कहा है, जहाँ तक पाकिस्तान अधिकृत कश्मीर की बात है, यूनियन टेरिटरीज जो जम्मू के, लद्दाख के और कश्मीर के जो हैं वो भारत के अभिन्न अंग हैं, अभिन्न अंग रहेंगे। ये हमारा इस पे ये हमारा बल है। Srinjoy, you talked about External Affairs Minister's comments. The Minister has spoken on this issue, so I would not like to add anything more. Ghazali, your question was regarding the UN aid worker who passed away. You would have seen our statement that we released conveying condolences today the Indian mission, along with in Tel Aviv, in collaboration with the UN authorities, the Israeli authorities, they were able to coordinate the transportation of mortal remains. The mortal remains of Colonel Kale has arrived in India today, and for formalities to be done by the family, we have already conveyed our deepest condolences on his passing away. As far as the investigation of the issue is concerned, you would have seen the statement made by the UN Secretary General's office that they have set up a fact-finding panel. As far as we are concerned, we also remain in touch with relevant authorities as far as the investigation is concerned. Aishi, on your question about, sorry? Swiss Peace Conference. Yes, today the Swiss Foreign Secretary is in Delhi. He had conversation with Secretary West. As we had said this earlier as well, we have received invitation from the Swiss side. We are yet to decide on our participation. Yushi, your question regarding Canada, yes, we have seen reports of the fourth person being arrested. We have been so far formally not conveyed of it, and so far we haven't received any consular request as well. Consular access request as well. Issue, we understand from reports that there's some 70 odd UN personnel who are working in Gaza. Out of those, how many are Indians? I'm not very sure, but I'll come back to you once I have clarity of the information. I'll get that information for you. Can we go for Abhishek?
Hi, sir. Abhishek Dutt from CNN News 18 this side. My question is regarding the former army officer who was killed in Israel. Have we raised the issue with the Israeli government? And you said that investigations are being done and you are waiting. Which investigation are you referring to that the result of which you are waiting for?
Okay. Huma?
Sir, I'm Huma Siddiqui from the Financial Express. I just wanted to understand, now that we have signed an agreement with Iran on the Chabahar port, are we also looking for starting crude procurement from them as well as from Venezuela?
Madhu?
सर मधुरेंद्र मैं न्यूज़ नेशन से। अभी प्रधानमंत्री मोदी ने एक सवाल के जवाब में बताया था कि किस तरह से भारत ने गाजा में युद्ध को रोकने के लिए अपनी इन्वाई को भेजा था। अगर उसका डिटेल विदेश मंत्रालय दे पाए कि कौन गया था, क्या बातचीत हुई थी और उसके क्या परिणाम रहे थे।
I'm Keita Uki, Japanese news agency, JG Press. Tomorrow will be the 50th anniversary of India's first nuclear test, Operation Smiling Buddha. I would like to confirm one thing. Is India's no first use policy maintained, or has this policy change? Been discussed?
Elena?
Elena TASS News Agency, good afternoon. My question is related to this very important visit by Russian president, which is taking place now in China. So how do you see this visit of the Russian president to the neighboring country? What is India's estimation of this trip?
Okay. Can we come back? Huh? Abhishek, on your question regarding the investigation, as I told you, the United Nations, they themselves, they have set up a fact-finding panel. As far as on our side, obviously there are several agencies which are involved. On our side, we remain in touch with all the agencies involved in regard to the investigation. Huma, your question on Chabahar on 13th, you saw that we signed the long-term agreement for the operation of Chabahar port. Our minister was there. This has obviously it's a major achievement for us. We see Chabahar as India's commitment towards realizing the potential of the place as a connectivity hub for Afghanistan and for landlocked Central Asian countries. You know that this port is being operated by India Ports Global Limited since 2018, and through the port we've been able to supply and provide a lot of humanitarian assistance to Afghanistan. In the past, since 2018, we've supplied 85,000 metric tons of wheat, 200 metric tons of pulses, and 40,000 liters of pesticide malathion to Afghanistan through this port. Also, you know, there are several questions that were asked. The United States also understands the importance of Chabahar port for continued humanitarian supplies to Afghanistan and to provide Afghanistan with economic alternatives. Our external affairs minister also spoke on this matter in several forums recently, where he said that we should not take a narrow view of this particular project. It has an important role to play as far as the region is concerned, connectivity is concerned, particularly for the landlocked countries in the area. As far as your questions about Venezuela and buying of energy, etc., those are not in the scope of this particular agreement. मधुर, कुछ समय पहले आपको याद होगा कि प्रेस एंगेजमेंट में हम लोग बताया था कि हमारा जो नेशनल सिक्योरिटी एडवाइज़र वहाँ गए थे, तो उसके बारे में हम लोगों ने जानकारी भी दी थी आपको, और ये बताया भी था कि वहाँ जाके उन्होंने शांति के बहाल के लिए रमज़ान के दौरान इसकी बात रखी है वहाँ पर. तो मैं आपसे कहूँगा कि वो जो प्रेस एंगेजमेंट था उसमें अगर देखें तो आपको विस्तृत में थोड़ी और जानकारी मिलेगी. My friend from Japan, regarding your question, yes, we continue to follow our stated policy as far as the matter that you raised is concerned, and there is no change in our policy. Elena, your question on the visit of Russian president. This is a relationship between Russia and China, and obviously we have no further comments to make on it. Yes.
Then, can you say, from the point of BRICS cooperation, how do you see this visit?
Well, BRICS is a separate issue. BRICS is an important platform. I understand the Russian presidency is preparing a very expansive, ambitious program. I understand there are over 250 odd meetings that are planned. We, of course, look forward to participating in the BRICS meetings and to strengthen the BRICS agenda. And we also hope that the BRICS becomes an important, the expanded BRICS becomes an important platform to give voice to the issue of multipolarity. We have more questions?
I'm Preeti, independent journalist. There are reports in the media that hundreds of Indian students are facing deportation in Canada. They're saying that immigration policy has been changed overnight. Your comments on it?
This is Nangsha Mitra. Sir, recently Russian presidential special envoy to Afghanistan, Kabulov, had a meeting here in New Delhi with Jaiswal. Is there any development for aid to flood-torn Afghanistan? And secondly, in the line of Chabahar development, are we making any mechanism for connecting it directly to INSTC? Thank you, sir.
Emerson.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Emerson from Central News Agency. On May 20, the new government of Taiwan will take oath. Nearly 700 international dignitaries from Japan, the US, and other countries will attend the ceremony. And India, as the largest democracy, can you please shed light on whether will there be any Indian delegation to Taipei, and what will be the expectations of India from the new government in Taiwan? Thank you.
There.
Sir, Dhairya Maheshwari from Sputnik India. Sir, my first question is about the same topic that's asked by my colleague, sir, about the visit of Russian presidential envoy. Was there any discussion on any joint projects in multilateral or bilateral formats between the two countries in Afghanistan? And sir, if you allow me, there's a second question. There are some recent remarks made by US envoy saying that India was allowed to, purchase Russian crude by the US to ease of prices. We are given to understand that's not the case, but would it be possible to get? Thank you.
Pranay?
On the visit of Kabulov, when he was in Afghanistan talking to some of the media outlets, he said that Taliban doesn't pose any threat to India now. Would you like to have any comment on that?
Okay. Let's start, Preeti, with you. We have a large number of students who have gone to Canada to study. The figure is pretty significant. But what you are mentioning is that several students are facing problems that we haven't come across as of now. Sorry, deportation. I don't have an update on that. We are not aware of, there may be one case here or one case there, that's about it, but we don't see any major problem as far as students in Canada they are concerned. Maitreyi, on the visit of Special Envoy of the Russian President on Afghanistan, Ambassador Kabulov, he did have a meeting with our delegation led by Joint Secretary Mr. J.P. Singh, who looks after Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran. In the Ministry of External Affairs, they had a bilateral consultations on Afghanistan. They discussed the situation that is there on ground. They also emphasized on the need to continue providing development assistance and humanitarian support to people of Afghanistan. So this was the context. They had bilateral conversation between the two. In regard to INSTC, yes, External Affairs Minister has spoken about INSTC. He's also spoken about the Chabahar port. He said that one should not take a narrow view of this particular project, the Chabahar project. It has a wider relevance to connectivity in the region. Emerson, as you know, with Taiwan, we have ongoing exchanges in cultural field, in economic field, trade field, investment field, scientific field, and we will continue with these exchanges. There, regarding the engagement with Ambassador Kabulov, we have conveyed to you what was discussed, essentially exchange of views on the ground on the situation and how the two countries look at the situation. And we also emphasized on the need to provide development assistance and humanitarian support to the people of Afghanistan. That's very important for us.
So my question was what he said to the media, if you could say. He said that Taliban doesn't pose any threat to India and Russia.
That, Abhishek, he said to the media, but I have given you our point of view, what we emphasized in our meeting with Ambassador Kabulov. On the oil purchases, Dhairya, we've said this before as well, including in this press engagement that we have, that all our oil purchases abroad, they are based on our energy security requirements. And this is a decision that we take independently, based on our national interest. Yes, on this particular matter, obviously, there have been conversations between us and the American side, US side. Too many questions. Okay. Rishabh, Kalol.
Good evening, sir. Rishabh from Times Now. Sir, two questions. One, the Pakistani foreign minister and also the deputy prime minister was in Beijing. Pakistan raked up Kashmir again with China. Your response to that? And apart from that, U.S. envoy to India, Eric Garcetti, while speaking to a number of news channels, including Times Now, said that on Chabahar port, when the U.S. State Department says that there's potential risk, he says there are further clarification that will come in. Has India received any communication from US on Chabahar port? And is their flip-flop stand from 2018 when they gave waiver in the Chabahar port deal, which has changed to potential risk now? What's the stand of India and what's the communication between India and US?
Okay. Kalol.
This is Kalol Bhattacharjee from The Hindu. So there is a report from The Guardian about a ship that was headed to Israel, and the ship was carrying weapons. It originated from Chennai, and the Spain reportedly denied the ship entry into one of its ports. And my question, therefore, is it appears that India is arming Israel with killer weapons at a time when it's carrying out campaign in Rafah. So would you like to clarify what sort of weapons is, or what sort of arms assistance is India providing to Israel in this context? Thank you.
Okay. Akhilesh.
So I am Akhilesh Suman. Maldivian Defense Minister has recently said that their pilots don't know how to fly the Dornier aircrafts. So in the last meeting between Foreign Minister of Maldives and EM, Dr. Jaiswal, has there been any request to train the Maldivian pilots in India so that they can fly the Dornier aircrafts?
Okay. Pranay.
सर, चीन में हाल ही में पाकिस्तान के जो प्लानिंग मिनिस्टर हैं वो वहाँ पे थे और भारत की तमाम आपत्तियों के बावजूद CPEC के फेज़ 2 को लेकर कुछ प्रोजेक्ट्स पर आगे बात बढ़ी है. तो भारत की उसको लेकर क्या टिप्पणी है, क्योंकि भारत लगातार CPEC का विरोध भी करता रहा है और आपने अभी अभी कहा कि जम्मू कश्मीर भारत का संपूर्ण अंग है.
This is Yeshi Seli from the New Indian Express. ME has always maintained that the 8th naval veteran who hasn't come because of some formalities that he has to fulfill. It's over 3 months since he was released from jail. 7 people have come back. How much longer is he going to wait? Where does he stand right now?
That completes the questions. Rishabh, regarding your question on Jammu and Kashmir, I would like to again reiterate what we have said so far, in spite of whatever claims we may be made, that the entire Union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh have been, are and shall always remain integral parts of India. In regard to the ambassador's comments that you referred to, we, earlier also while answering question on Chabahar, I made this point that what External Affairs Minister also had said, that we should not take a narrow view of this issue. The project will benefit the entire region, particularly landlocked Afghanistan and Central Asia. And the US has in the recent past appreciated the larger relevance of Chabahar port, particularly in the context of humanitarian supplies to Afghanistan. So our understanding is that we'll take this conversation forward. Akhilesh, your question regarding training of pilots, yes, capacity building is an important component in our defense and security engagement with Maldives. We have in the past trained their personnel on the defense side, and if we receive a request for training of pilots, we will, if this request is made, we will be happy to take it forward. A request is made, we will take it forward. प्रणय, आपका सवाल पॉक और CPC को लेकर था. उस पर हमारा जो स्टैंड है, जो पोजीशन है भारत का, बड़ा क्लियर है. आपको पता है कि इट इम्पैक्ट्स इंडियाज़ टेरिटोरियल इंटेग्रिटी एंड सॉवरेनिटी, और जो पाकिस्तान अधिकृत कश्मीर है उस पे, उस क्षेत्र पे, उस भूभाग पे भी हमारा पोजीशन बड़ा क्लियर है कि ये जो क्षेत्र है पाकिस्तान अधिकृत कश्मीर, ये भारत का अभिन्न अंग है, रहा है और हमेशा रहेगा. Ishi, on a question about the 8th Naval Veteran, yes, as you said, yourself said that he has been released. He is staying in Doha, but he has certain formalities to clear. Once those formalities are cleared by him, it is for him to do it. He will return to India. Those charges which were there earlier, they don't exist anymore. So he's free. He's staying in Doha right now, but he has certain requirements to fulfill. Oh, Kalol, yes. Regarding your question, Kalol, yes, today in the morning we saw some reports which talked about a ship, a Danish flagged ship, which are taking some supplies to, they had requested for a port call. We've seen the reports. We are looking into the matter. We'll come back to you with more details as and when we have. Let me get back to you. With that, we come to the closure of this press engagement. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.